This episode is brought to you by Companion. Iris and Josh seem like the perfect match, but when a weekend getaway turns into a nightmare, Iris realizes that things aren't as perfect as they appear. From the creators of Barbarian and the studio that brought you The Notebook comes a twisted tale of modern romance and the sweet satisfaction of revenge. Companion, only in theaters January 31st. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
Hey folks, we're the hosts of Comic Sans, the podcast about comics for those who are sans knowledge.
Comic Sans is a show for people who are new to comics, like me.
Or people who love them, like me. You can listen to our brand new third season or binge the first two right now.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Lez hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what legends are about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Lez hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out, the podcast that's down. I can't do it. I can't do it with a straight face.
I knew you were going to do it, and it also just came in my ears so loud.
Down the road, down the witch's road. Okay.
There's no other
there
option. There's literally no other
where's my
option.
harmonies? Ellie, where's my
sorry,
high harmony?
I can't do it right now, but I'll add it in post.
Okay, excellent. From the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who've been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. If you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here. Here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. In season 8, we are continuing to release our Patreon bonus episodes. So if you want to join our Patreon, you can do that at bit.ly/LesPatreon. Our last episode was on Dix the Musical, and our next one will be on Amelia Perez.
In the greater Les universe, so we all know that we had Inauguration Day in the US last week, and we're not off to a great start with our new administration. So we just want to reiterate that we are always here to support queer people, trans people, non-binary people, saying wild radical things like, whoa, hey, intersex people are real and exist, and trans people are real. So it's gonna be a bad time for a bit. Find joy, queer joy, where and when you can at all times.
Yep. And I also feel like, for me, one of the things I think about, and I don't know if this is helpful to everyone, is like when you're feeling powerless or helpless, each of us can pick a lane that we really feel strongly about and work towards. For me and Lee, it's building queer community and spreading queer joy for all of you. If for you it is immigration rights, if for you it is trans rights, if for you it is any of the other variety of human rights that are being completely destroyed as we watch them, do it. Fight the good fight. Know that we know you're fucking tired. And we are here for you while you're doing that work. Oh, man. What a time.
And I think also, what a time. I do also want to give one quick shout out related to the whole dumpster fire that was our inauguration to Reverend Marianne Budd, I think is how you say her last name, who just, did actually take the opportunity of standing at a pulpit in front of our incoming president and vice president and to shout out, like, to specifically call out and say, like, hey, show mercy to people who are scared right now. Like, there are queer people and queer kids who are scared. There are immigrants and people who live and work and pay taxes in our country who are good people and are scared. And so shout out to her, because honestly, that probably took some real balls to do, and more power to her, man.
Not balls, clit.
Yeah, took some real
vulva
clit energy. Vulva energy. Shout out to you, Marianne. We're here for it.
Also, in the greater Les universe, I felt like it's worth mentioning the TikTok ban that happened and also didn't happen at the same fucking time. But I will just say, happy that TikTok is not banned, because I do feel like it has been a very positive space for the queer community to find each other, to create community, to spread messages. And so I'm happy that TikTok is still is back. I mean, it's a shit show. We all know there's all kinds of propaganda being spread about Trump being the savior of TikTok, which is bullshit. But I'm choosing to look at, especially during this episode with TikToker
Yeah.
PoppyLaur, there's a video that she just posted that was like, I'm going to keep screaming about how gay I am. So while you're all, I understand, like, we're all scared. Like, hopefully us screaming that we're gay on TikTok is one way of resistance, you know? So use it however you want. Enjoy your mindless scrolling, whatever you need to do. But it is
Whatever
back,
you need to
and that's
do.
hilarious to me.
And speaking of small places to find joy, I found joy in this article about how there is a lesbian group in Australia who has been trying to petition for like over the last year a request to basically not comply with the Australian Sex Discrimination Act. And their whole thing is they want to exclude bi women and trans women from their lesbian events. And they just got handed down the latest ruling from a higher court that validated the ruling from lower courts, which have all said, like, no, you are not excluded from this. And you can't just exclude people that you want to exclude. And that brought me some small joy, especially because the people who have been super outspoken, like, you know, throwing their little temper tantrum about this whole situation include like J.K. Rowling and Martina Navratilova. So sucks to be you. Anyways, there you go. That brought me some joy this week.
I love that, Lee. Go fuck yourself, TERFs. With that, that's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Incredible. Thanks, Ellie and Lee. We are so excited to bring you episode 13 of season 8, Agatha All Along. Did we come up with a name for this?
That's the name.
That's
You can come
the
up
name.
with something else if you want.
The name is, we're talking about Agatha All Along, and we are going to be joined by a very special guest to help us dive into this show. We have Lauren, aka PoppyLaur, who's a writer, actor, lesbian content creator on Instagram and TikTok. Lauren, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about these lesbian witches.
Honestly, it's like the gift of the year that we got this show. I'm so happy that you're here to talk about it because you suggested this to us. So like,
Yeah.
for you, why were you like, let's talk about Agatha All Along on a lesbian podcast? Why would you want that? I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to say that I am magical or that I have a direct tie to God, but when WandaVision came out initially, right? It was like 2021, maybe late 2022, early 2021. I don't remember. This show came out. I watched it in my dorm room during COVID, my senior year of college. And I watched it and I said, Agatha Harkness is a lesbian. Like, it was this early on. I watched this show. I said, this character is so gay. And I loved her. I was obsessed with her. Who wouldn't be? It's Catherine Hahn. It's the evil witch. Those are like two of my favorite things. It's like MILF, evil witch. MILFy evil witch is my pinnacle of hotness and lesbianism. And so like the show was over, right? It was a limited series. I was devastated. I said, I want more Agatha Harkness so bad. Then months and months later, I had moved to LA. They announced like there's going to be an Agatha spinoff. That was my first, I think I'm magical, because I had just simply asked the universe for more of this one character. But then when this show started airing, the very first time that Agatha Harkness interacts with Rio Vidal, I said, oh my God, I have a superpower. I manifested lesbian Agatha Harkness back on everyone's screens. Like, when I tell you how much this character means to me, it's indescribable. It's indescribable. I don't know. It was just like my favorite show of 2024, just because I love women. I love Catherine Hahn. And I love lesbianism. It's just so good. And when you
what a mood. This is the live, laugh, love that we've always actually
Catherine
needed,
Hahn,
right?
lesbianism.
Yeah.
What was the third one? I'm stuck on the lesbianism because that was
it's women, it's Catherine Hahn,
women,
it's lesbianism.
yes, Catherine Hahn,
Yeah.
lesbianism. Yeah.
And then also
witches.
I love witches. Like my whole life, my favorite movie when I was a kid up until very, very recently was Hocus Pocus.
Wait, what is it now?
Well, I'm glad you asked because you recently spoke about it. It is Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Oh. Wait, so had you not seen Romeo and Michelle? Or it was like you had seen both of them and Hocus Pocus was still the top, and then you were like, wait, this has changed
Romy
everything.
and Michelle 2021. And that the first time I watched it, I said, oh, this is actually my favorite movie. Hocus Pocus is still a very close second, because I think Hocus Pocus is like one of my gay awakenings. I had many gay awakenings. I knew I was a lesbian from a very young age. And you're all thinking, oh, Sarah Sanderson? Oh, it's Sarah Jessica Parker? No, it was Winnifred Sanderson. It was Bette
See,
Midler.
here's the thing, Lauren, though I've met you before and I knew it was Winnifred.
Yeah.
Like maybe strangers might think.
Yeah.
But it was obviously Winnifred. The second you said Hocus Pocus was a gay awakening.
It's like I'm modeling my aesthetic after Sarah Sanderson. I've got the blonde hair. I've got a vampy lip. I love the color purple. But Winnifred Sanderson did something to me as a child that was like irreparable, and I became a lesbian at a very young age.
So when you say MILF witches, Winnie was your...
She's my number one.
The Winnie to Agatha pipeline is so real.
Okay, the Winnie... and you guys know about the stop in the middle, which is arguably the longest chunk of my life, Regina Mills. Regina from Once Upon a Time. She's the midpoint. So it got me Winnie, Regina, Agatha, which I think I could do an entire podcast about the similarities between Regina Mills and Agatha Harkness. Like, both MILF witches who have a weird relationship with a son. They love the color purple, and then they have like a pseudo mother enemy.
Yeah.
And they also both live in towns that have been wiped of their memories and identities, and they are the only people who know who they are still. Like, these are the same character.
The TED Talk is coming when?
It's this episode.
Yeah.
I just want to say to the people, I want to say to Jack Schaefer, the writer and creator of WandaVision and of Agatha All Along, hey girl, Lana Parrilla had an effect on us all. Like, it's...
So valid. Yeah, because we did a Should Have Been Gay on Once Upon a Time as well. We talked a lot about Regina, because of course.
That woman,
We've also done a Should Have Been Gay on Hocus Pocus and on Romeo and Michelle. Listen, we've got you covered.
Yeah.
We've
because
got them all.
Of course, your 3 favorite films are gay.
Yeah, you have I think it's like the lesbian...
Well, film and TV show, but...
The lesbian, like, lexicon of media it's just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous body of work.
It really is, and it's a never end. It's a gift that just keeps on giving, really.
Yeah.
We've done, how many Should Have Been Gays have we done, Lee? We just did
140? I think we just hit 140, didn't we?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's the list never ends. The list never ends.
Where is our parade? Where is our award? Where is our Medal of Honor? That's what I'd like to know.
Everyone in this Zoom deserves a purple heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the purple
heart. Right.
The purple is representative of Agatha Harkness.
Yes. Of course. Lee, for you, what was your relationship with Agatha all along?
So here's the thing. As Ellie well knows about me, I have not watched a Marvel movie in a decade. I don't even know. It's been a long time. When did like Iron Man 1 come out? I don't know.
Yeah, that's really
right.
Really long.
I haven't. Yeah. Back in the Middle Ages, when we were carving Iron Man into stone walls, that's the last time I watched a Marvel thing. So I'm like way out of it, right? Like way out of it. And I remember WandaVision coming out and seeing all the. I mean, I'm also like a terminally online person, so I always know what's happening whether or not I watch it. And so I remember like seeing all the stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this show looks so cool, so fun! Like it's so interesting. What a cool premise! Like all the clips look really neat." And I remember when the Agatha All Along reveal happened and all that stuff. And I was like, maybe I should watch WandaVision. Didn't watch WandaVision.
That's okay. I mean, to be fair, it is really fucking good.
No, it's great. And we might honestly, like, now that Kelsey
Agatha,
has watched Agatha All Along
yeah.
with me, we might go, we've, like, discussed, maybe we'll just go back and like, watch WandaVision now. But, so, didn't watch WandaVision. Agatha All Along comes out, right? And I know everyone's, like, fucking losing their minds, the Aubrey Plaza of it, everyone is on high alert, right? Like, oh yeah, I think those announcements came out and, like, DARs were pinging all around, okay? And so Didn't watch Agatha All Along either. But I, again, very online. Every fucking clip, every episode, like I know everything that's happening in the show. I'm well aware of everything. I just have very little time in my life. And so then we get this episode topic selected, and I was like, oh, I gotta find time to watch Agatha All Along, like the whole series in the next week. I can't do it. And then I went on vacation, right?
So lucky.
And literally, I was like, we watched 4 episodes on the plane. It was like I spent a beautiful few days where it was just like you'd sit by the pool all day, beach, waves, everything beautiful, and then just like go back and be like, and now we can watch like an episode or 2 of Agatha All Along. Like, incredible. So I watched the whole show literally in the last week of my life.
So fresh.
So
I envy that you
I'm
got to watch it
fresh.
for the first time recently.
I am fresh. And I mean, we'll talk about some of this, but what I think is so funny to me, watching the show now without, not just watching it through the eyes of the queer people whose media I was consuming, their experience of watching this show. What's so funny is watching the show and knowing how early people were already calling like the finale out, like, you know, reveals, denouements, like all of that. I saw people drawing like fan art comic page strips of exactly what, like, literally exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like weeks in advance. And I'm just like,
Wait, what do you mean by exactly what happened, Lee? You mean the gay shit, or you mean everything?
No. I mean,
I was
yes.
like, yeah, because of course people just started
and
posting like fan art of Agatha.
No.
and Rio kissing.
I mean specifically like the
How'd they call that? That's so crazy.
Though there was, I was trying to find it honestly before we hopped on, and I couldn't find the page that I like specifically remember someone drawing. But I think it was the week before they even actually came out in the show and said that Rio was deaf. Somebody online had time to think up and draw an entire full page comic page where they were like, what if Rio is deaf and she had to kill Agatha's son and Agatha has never forgiven her? And they drew this whole thing where it was like, you know, little Nikki Scratch with 2 moms. Yep. and it was like, oh, like, you know, oh, mama, I have to go with mama now, and like into, you know, the afterlife, and it's Rio leading this son, like their little son, away because they're like Nikki and his 2 moms, Agatha and Death. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Marvel.
It was true.
I would say Marvel people. I do not identify as a Marvel girly because, much like you, I really clocked out after the first Avengers when I was in middle school. I said, this is actually this is not for me anymore.
It's a lot.
It's a lot
to keep up with.
But those people have I think they have like a Rolodex of like every mention, every detail, every character design that's ever happened in the comics. So I think as soon as they were like, this character is named Rio Vidal, they were like, that's Lady Death. Like they knew.
Yeah.
They knew. And also there was like a whole thing where Funko like accidentally leaked her Funko Pop and it said Death on it like weeks before the reveal. And so everyone was like, well, damn. Like that's
Yeah.
And as soon as they did, they fully fleshed out the story already, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it, was watching the show. I was like, listen, there's a couple things, like I'm also the kind of person who watches things and loves to be like, can I figure out what's coming? Can I figure out the ending? Can I see it? Things come. I'm like, this is next level shit that people were just, you know, like it was crazy to experience it, like knowing what was coming, but to realize how really on the ball the queer community just is and always remains. I mean,
that's also the Marvel girlies are here, but the lesbians, when they love something, I was recently explaining this to my girlfriend's mom. I was like, I don't know why TV shows, movies, music, whatever, don't lean more into garnering a sapphic fan base, because those are the most rabid people who will like like I was telling her, I was like, when I was in high school, if I knew there was a single gay character in a show,
Yeah.
I was watching 7 seasons of a show for one gay
Yep.
character. Like,
Mhm.
so when you like tie that into the Marvel people are also very rabid, you get like these people who are so dialed in to like every single aspect. And I feel like that, if I were a head honcho trying to make a successful franchise, I would be like, get the gay people in here. Like, get these gay people are gonna be fanatic about this.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, exactly what you're saying. Like when they started releasing it, it was like the Marvel people were figuring it out, but the gay people were also like digging in, and also that invites gay people to go watch other Marvel things, because now, like for example, you might go watch WandaVision, which maybe you wouldn't have if we hadn't done this episode. Which I will sidebar and say WandaVision is so good. Love WandaVision.
So good. Well, I will say too, like it was interesting because I do feel like a lot of the Marvel people are very straight. So there also was like another weird kind of thing where I was like, I don't know if you experience this like online when people are commenting, like there's definitely like a big contingent of Marvel people who were like, this show sucked. And you're like, what show are you watching?
Yeah. Well, I think
Like
Marvel people, I mean, okay, if there's a Marvel person listening to this and you're cool, know that what I'm about to say is not about you. Most average male Marvel fans are not going to
Yes.
watch anything that's not about like buff men like beating each other up and spitting in each other's faces, which is like a whole other thing. But it's so interesting because yeah, Agatha All Along and WandaVision both received this onslaught of hate from the quote unquote traditional Marvel fan. And then they went on to be some of the most successful Marvel projects to date. With like the idea that, I don't know if you guys have seen this, you're newer dipped in, Lee, but there's even speculation that there's going to be a season 2, even though this was a limited series, because it was nominated at the Golden Globes for, like, Catherine Hahn got like a nomination that only actors who are in a like series potential show could get nominated for. So there's like this whole thing where it's like this show
Don't retcon it.
that was so like quote unquote bad is so good, so widely received positively, that not only did it perform well, but also they're considering potentially making this what was supposed to be limited series into a multi-season show. It's just cuckoo. It's just men hate women. That's it.
Exactly. And that's why the show's so good, because fuck the men.
Yeah.
And there are very few men in the show.
Yeah, and the one boy is gay.
Yes.
And not only is he like gay, he's also like, I love older women. Like he's like,
yeah,
like he's not like, you know, like there's like also sometimes this like toxic gay that like wants to be bitchy to women or like whatever. No, he's like, I love you, Patti LuPone. Like he's also he's one of us in his heart, you know.
He really is. He's like also this gay boy who's like obsessed with witchcraft, and like we all know witchcraft is just like code for lesbianism. Like, and there's also
100%.
like, I mean, there's such a thing about, I mean, you mentioned Patti LuPone. This cast.
Yes.
Patti fucking LuPone, right?
Yeah.
Which, okay, I will say for me, my experience with the show, I also watched it like as it came out. I also was obsessed with it. And Patti LuPone was one of my favorites in it. And after the episode that she left, I was so sad. I say I'm like spoiler free, but also whatever. People, if you've
are we pretending this is going to be spoiler free?
But when she sacrificed herself, I was like, no, Patti, like you ruined my whole life because now I'm not going to see you again in the next few episodes.
When she said,
she loved being a witch.
I know.
When she said, I loved being a witch, oh my God, the visceral heartbreak that I felt on my couch. I literally I remember turning off the TV, immediately opening TikTok because I immediately wanted to see fan cams of her because I said, I need more. I need more of this. I don't want her to be dead. And also the sentiment of I loved being a witch. Like we said, witchcraft is just lesbianism.
Exactly.
I put on my gravestone, I loved being a lesbian.
Yes. Honestly, yes.
Bravo.
That's exactly what she's saying. And also, like, okay, the fact that this is a show that like so centers around women, so centers around witches, centers around like this coven, right? Like a coven, I think a lot of queer people relate to the coven as like
Absolutely.
the chosen family,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And you have like all different kinds of gays in this coven. And to me, that was just like, it was so perfect.
It's
and
the
so
found
beautiful.
family of it all.
Exactly. And they're all like, all these gays have different skills.
I also
Like, we
love
can
that
all-
they
yeah.
deadass like throughout it. Like, yes, everyone is talking about like Rio and Agatha being the gays, and then Billy being a gay, but also like everyone in that show was gay. Like at one point, like they're walking along, and like what Rio like is like la 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 through the forest, and Jennifer Kale is like, I don't know if I want to be her, like be with her, like.
Yes.
Like, everyone in this show, whether or not they explicitly said it, is so queer. It was just, oh, what a delight to watch. What a delight. Like, I don't even think there was a single straight romance other than Billy's parents.
Yeah, question mark. Like, that was it. No,
Yeah.
I'm also like, Sashir Zamata also like openly gay. Like,
Openly queer.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza openly queer. Catherine Hahn is like got a HRC ally award
Yeah, and I think she
something.
was,
Like
like,
Joe
is
Locke
Catherine Hahn
queer.
bisexual? I feel like she is bisexual.
I
No,
don't think she
So-
is, but
She
she's
got-
like extremely outspoken on like queer like rights, queer issues. Like
She
Lauren's
got interviewed.
dying to talk
Oh, I know
about
this. Catherine Hahn.
do it, tell us.
Catherine Hahn was everything to me for a long time before I met my girlfriend. And then I met my girlfriend, and now my girlfriend is everything to me. But the knowledge remains. Catherine Hahn was interviewed many years ago, probably like 5 years ago, on a podcast, and they asked her like if she was queer, and she said, "It's all real fluid. We're all adults." That was almost a direct quote, I know in my heart. So I would say that Catherine Hahn is unlabeled.
Yes, we
Yes.
love that.
Because I
We
think
love
that she met her husband when she was like in college, like so early. I think that had she wanted to answer that, like, girl, I have a husband, like I've been with my husband, she could have easily done
She
that.
could have.
But I think that I would argue Miss Girl is not labeled, and that's good with me. That's good with me. I say this
Fluid.
woman is kissing a lot of women in film.
Oh yeah.
A suspicious amount of women she is feast.
There's a
smooching.
lot.
There is a lot.
Did you watch? What's the one that we watched?
Afternoon
Lee?
Delight.
Afternoon
Oh, I
Delight?
know.
Oh yeah.
I know.
With Juno Temple.
I know exactly
Yeah.
where your mind's going, Ellie.
I also
Well-
knew.
Because it's wild.
yeah.
That was a movie for sure.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
she's so interesting, Catherine Hahn. I feel like because I watched so much of her discography, not her discography, her filmography. Okay, recording actress Catherine Hahn. I watched a bunch of stuff she was in, and then when like leading up to Agatha All Along, right? And I watched it, and then that scene where she comes out and she's naked. I remember turning to my friends and saying, she requested to be naked. She loves to be naked on screen. And they were like, what are you talking about? And I was like, this bitch will take off her clothes if they give her the opportunity. She requested to be naked. And then weeks later, she had an interview where she was like, yeah, I went to Jack. And I said, I don't think Agatha would put on clothes. I was like, you are crazy. I love you.
That
You're
is-
crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
Called
the
it.
percentage of Catherine Hahn films where she is naked? Like
Oh.
significantly high? Is
Yes.
that why you would say that?
Yes. And
That's
it's-
so
and it's-
funny.
And to the dear listeners at home who are unfamiliar with Catherine Hahn's filmography, I'm not talking like, oh, flash of side ass. I'm talking, I've seen this woman's front and back, like multiple roles where you just see her whole body, like naked as the day she was born. It is wild. I think she loves to do it. She loves to do it. So when she did it in Agatha All Along, I was like, I
You were
cannot
like,
believe
this is a
that
request.
this girl pulled this out for a Disney Plus show. She said, let me show my ass. Please.
Please. That is incredible. Also, I feel like there's like a piece of it that like I would like to think that she's just like, yes, like please let me document this body
Yeah.
for the rest of time. Right?
Absolutely.
You know, like in Schitt's Creek when like what's her name is like so pissed off that someone took her nudes off the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's like I feel like that's it.
Absolutely.
Is like please show my body in like every single film. So like when I'm old, I can be like, let me look at my ass in like whatever version of it I want to.
Yeah. No, I absolutely believe that. And I think that's so in character for her. She is so funny. Love that girl. Love that girl. I saw her, my friends and I got to go see her on the Jennifer Hudson show when she interviewed for Agatha All Along. And that was so cool. And then I saw her when she filmed this, like, who was it? Was it Kimmel? I think Kimmel had like this like live event that was filmed where he was recreating old sitcoms, and she was on the Facts of Life. And I saw her in the live studio audience, and I went with a bunch of my friends who were Catherine Hahn fans. And at one point, like during a commercial break, we were like, Catherine! And we called down to her, and she looked up at us, and I did blow her a kiss, and she did catch it, and she put it to her heart. And then she blew me a kiss, and I caught it, and I put it to my heart. So I just feel like we know each other.
Are you guys still together? Like, do you think this is like you have two girlfriends? Or
do I have two girlfriends? Listen,
I'm just kidding.
You heard it here first.
I'm publicly saying that Alyssa and I are a throuple with Catherine Hahn.
With Catherine Hahn.
That's
yeah.
literally Alyssa's worst nightmare. So
we are going to be on a roll of the hottest quote graphics, Ellie.
I know. One of the last episodes that we did, I joked that Sabrina Carpenter went down on me. Like, I don't know why. It just came out of my mouth. And and then our like production assistant turned it into a quote graphic to put on our
It
Instagram.
is my favorite thing that has ever existed in the world. I think it's sort of like down here is like there's like my children, and then just above that is a quote
Sabrina
graphic
Carpenter.
with an Ellie quote that says Sabrina Carpenter went down on me and it sucked.
And it sucked.
Yeah. It was so bad. No, I mean it was obviously not real, but I was like, I imagine
my favorite thing.
I imagine
I
if
like cried laughing.
I just imagine if she did go down on me, she wouldn't be good at it, and that was just like that was the context.
I saw.
So
on your
I'm looking
Instagram-
forward to your quote graphic, Lauren, about your throuple with Catherine Hahn.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Alyssa would hate that because to her, Catherine Hahn is the most mediocre woman alive.
What?
No.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Wait. I have to defend. Alyssa
It's okay.
She's never had a celebrity crush in her life, which is crazy. But she doesn't get crushes on people she doesn't know in real life.
But I guess that's like a relatively crush.
normal thing.
Like,
could just be like she's very talented.
Yeah, it's not even very talented.
Wild.
It's like, here's the thing. So my poor wife, who ends up having to watch everything we watch for this podcast with me, and it is not always a good sell, some of the shit that we end up watching for like Should Have Been Gay episodes and stuff. So I knew Agatha All Along was going to be like an easy sell because she adores Catherine Hahn. She adores Aubrey Plaza, right? First of all, my wife's favorite show in the entire world is Parks and Rec, right? So right off the bat, I'm like, we have a good hard pitch here. Mm-hmm. But it's just every single thing that we watch with Catherine Hahn in it, like, it's like a race to beat each other to say, like, God, Catherine Hahn is just so funny and good in everything she's in, right? Like, she's incredible. She's incredible. How do you not think she's incredible?
Her acting work in Agatha All Along is some of her best acting.
Yes.
And she has done some really fucking good acting. But like
she's amazing in it.
The character is so like nuanced in Agatha All Along. It's brilliant.
That first episode alone, just throw awards at her. Just throw all the awards just in a big pile in front of her. Just pile them up.
When that scene, I think in episode 4, when she and Aubrey Plaza are talking and she goes in to kiss Aubrey Plaza and Aubrey Plaza kind of has to swerve her, that scene changed lives. And by changed lives, I mean changed my life.
Yours.
Like I think first of all, I am someone who, this is in direct contrast to my girlfriend. I feel like characters' relationships can feel as intense to me as my own while I watch them. And to feel the idea of like going in to kiss your situationship of hundreds of years after not seeing them for a while and getting swerved, even though you both love each other still. I said, I know this isn't a movie. Give her an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a Grammy. Hell, give her literally everything.
This
Every award.
scene is an EGOT for me. The music
Yes.
is their breath. The scene work is a TV show and a film. And God, put it on stage now. Agatha All Along coming to Broadway 2026.
The musical, yes. That's so funny to me also because I watched this show with my girlfriend and she is very similar to you. Like, we're watching it and like she would be like, I'm in the Witch's Road. She's like, for the entire time, she's like, I'm in it. Like, I'm in this bed, but I'm also in this forest.
Yeah.
Like, she's so in it.
Shoes are off.
Yeah, like
Feet
it would be like
bare.
after each episode, like it would take her a minute to like come back to real life.
Yes,
She
absolutely.
was like, I'm so in it.
I
And then she'd
literally
come out of it,
earlier
she's like,
this
whoa.
today I was walking around, I was like, oh, I should, I don't know, kind of like refresh my brain on Agatha All Along. Like, of course it's like ingrained, but I need to kind of like wet the soil again. And so literally 10 minutes before this, I was looking at like my favorite Agatha Rio edits on TikTok, and I was like biting my fist. I was like, oh, this hurts. I'll have like a physical reaction sometimes. Like, I'll be watching a fan cam, like an edit, and I'll be like, ow, like just out loud to myself. No audience, just me.
That sounds right.
That sounds
very
right. Listen, we're gonna take a quick break. Give us all a chance to come back to reality and dive into more of Agatha All Along.
A new year means new opportunities, and if you've been thinking about starting your own business, let this be your sign to take the leap. Of course, this decision comes with a lot of questions, like, how do I get started? How do I come up with a brand? How do I sell stuff to people? What am I even going to sell? Well, if you have all those questions, you can take a deep breath, because Shopify's got you. Shopify makes it simple to create your brand, open for business, and get your first sale. With Shopify, you can get your store up and running easily with thousands of customizable templates. No coding or design skills required. All you need to do is drag and drop. Their powerful social media tools let you connect all your channels and create shoppable posts to help you sell everywhere people scroll. And Shopify makes it easy to manage all the details, like shipping, taxes, and payments from one single dashboard, allowing you to focus on the important stuff, like growing your business. The best time to start your business is right now, and with Shopify, your first sale is closer than you think. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to start selling with Shopify today. Shopify.com/realm.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
If you are caught up in the Barbenheimer frenzy, if you love ranking the Mission Impossible films, if you are just an all-around movie fan, I have a podcast for you. Hello, I'm Amy Nicholson. I'm a film critic who writes for the New York Times, and I am also the co-host of Unspooled, the ultimate movie podcast. Each week, my co-host Paul Scheer and I unspool famous films to see if they are truly all-time classics. From the original 1984 Karate Kid to Children of Men to more recent pictures to Dune, yes, to Citizen Kane, we cover it all. Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with Spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
Okay, so you have refreshed yourself, Lauren.
I have refreshed.
On Agatha.
Yes.
I feel like we're like talking broad strokes here for the most part, but like specifics. What were your favorite like specific moments in Agatha All Along? We talked about that, like that moment in episode 4. What were the other moments that really like they really hit you?
Yeah, I would say, okay, one of the reasons that I love this character, Agatha Harkness, so much, and one of the reasons that I, from a day one, was an Agatha lesbian truther, is that watching WandaVision, I was like, oh, Agatha is so obsessed with the Scarlet Witch. And Lee, I'm going to try not to give you too many spoilers because you're about to go into the ride of a lifetime.
You cannot spoil me, I promise.
Oh, you've seen it all.
She's
on
probably
TikTok,
seen it
yeah.
all on TikTok.
Yeah, don't worry.
There was a period of time when I had first watched WandaVision. There is a specific scene in the pilot where Agatha, they're in black and white. Agatha takes Wanda's Wanda's taking Agatha's waist and moving her out the door. And Agatha says something like, "You naughty girl." I screenshot that frame. I printed it out probably on one of my college's printers. I cut it to the size of my phone and I stuck it in the clear phone case of my phone. So all of this to say, I've been
this is like a Minute Crafts version of like making a phone case of this.
Yeah, this is like a Minute Crafts version of like, do you want people to know you're a weird lesbian as soon as they meet you? like
Minute Crafts flagging.
Yes. 60-second craft. Show someone not only are you gay, you're a little weird about it.
Just a little.
So anytime in WandaVision or in Agatha All Along, when Wanda would get mentioned to Agatha, I was very enthralled because I love their dynamic so incredibly much. There is nothing hotter to me in the world than enemies to lovers. It is my favorite trope. It is my favorite thing to watch, which is crazy because if I think about in real life people I hate, if I think about falling in love with them, I want to barf guts. But when it's fictional characters, I say, make them kiss. So, like, for example, Rio has this line where she's like walking the road with another woman's son. And some might say, oh, she's saying other woman's son. Like, that's not your son, Agatha. In my head, she's like walking a road with another woman's son, not our son. Oh, jealous ex, enemies to lovers. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Oh my God. Also, one of my favorite moments is when they're sitting around the fire in one episode and they're like talking about their battle scars and whatever. And Agatha, Rio says, I have a scar. And Agatha goes, no, you don't. And it's very offhand. And of course, it's like, because Agatha knows her history, but also Agatha is familiar with that body.
Yeah.
That I probably levitated off of my couch when they said that.
Yeah. It's also funny because I believe there are still straight fans of the show who are not completely convinced of there being like a romance element to it. Like,
how?
You need your head checked.
I don't know.
Especially
Well, I think
they've like confirmed this with the cast, the crew, the writers, the background actors, the Foley artists.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, maybe I first of all, I do believe that there are going to be straight people who are like, I don't see it. But I think that there are people who are like, I don't get it more so. Like, I don't get there being a romance between these two people because like they hate each other in like an insane way. And to them I say, lesbians. See, here's the thing about lesbians is like bitches are crazy while they're crazy about each other. Okay,
that is a good quote. That's a good
print it
about each other.
It is a fact of life that I feel like it's why when you see the speed with which queer viewers picked up on that romance, right? Because the thing is, I'm sorry, but you can't take a queer modern media audience, give them the direct, like, frame by frame killing Eve, knife to the chest up against the wall shot, and not immediately know that we're gonna ship the fuck out of those two women.
Well, here's the thing. If any straight person watched that was so sexually charged. Is that the moment where she says, like, my heart, it's black and it beats for you?
That is
No.
during that fight. She says, "Yeah, my heart is black and it beats for you." And also
Yeah.
during that, or Aubrey Plaza says, "I prefer you horizontal."
Yeah.
And then they cap it with "in a grave." But Mama, there was a big pregnant pause between those two phrases,
And that was intentional.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
But yeah, one of the things I personally love about this is like they didn't shy away from it.
No.
Like from the beginning, we knew.
Also,
and it was not subtext.
One of the key indicating factors of clocking Agatha as a lesbian in Agatha All Along pilot. Can we talk about her being that detective sitting in jeans with her legs spread towards Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah.
Like she's like a frat bro, like who's had like 4 Coors Light. Like
I don't know if I'm just influenced by the fact that Ellie and I just watched this recently, but was anyone else just getting like Miss Congeniality vibes? Like I feel like they just told I feel like they just told Agatha or told Catherine Hahn to be like, here's how you're gonna play episode 1 Agatha is like just watch Miss Congeniality, the original OG movie. That's it.
I think that if
the direction
style
is
a
be
character-
Gracie.
if you style a character with a low pony, that is dyke.
No, that was like they were like Agatha as a dyke cop, like in the script. In the script, like that was it. Like there was no other interpretation of that character.
No.
That's
And I
so
remember
funny.
even during WandaVision, I watched it, and anytime Agatha would mention her husband, it was always negatively. It was always like, I wish my husband remembered our anniversary, or I wish my husband didn't drink so much beer. Like it was always, she was this woman. There is never a world in which Agatha Harkness had a baby with a man, kissed a man, fell in love with a man. Like this character to me is so lesbian. And I love it.
I mean, that's like when you said had a baby with a man. What do we know about how she got pregnant?
She got pregnant from Rio. Rio is the father.
From Rio.
Confirmed by Jack Schaefer, the creator and writer. She was like, yeah. And we wrote like more explanation for it. But then we were just like, no, they made a baby. Like
it's why Nikki couldn't live, right? You can't make a baby with death.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. And that's why people say like Nikki all throughout the show like calls Agatha mama. Or like, but then when right before he dies, he's like, I have to go be with my mother, and people are like, well, he calls Rio mother. Like that's Rio is the baby daddy.
I'm like,
they're such small things, but again, like we just talked about Ellie, like they're not breadcrumbs to queer people. They are
they're
giant.
Text. They're huge.
Yeah,
text.
they are giant, huge, flashing signs that we pick up on so immediately. And so I mean it's just I fucking love it. I fucking love it so much.
Well, that's why too, like when Lauren was like, let's do Agatha All Along, I feel like we were like, we don't have time to squeeze it in for our essentials. But like there's no zero way this should have been gay. This is like so fucking gay. So we were like, all right, we're gonna just squeeze it in as a topic episode because like it deserves to be talked about in the space that we need to talk about it. And like it's funny, like we have never really done this before for any other TV series. Like usually we would like wait to do it for Les Essentials, but this is like we have to.
It's also it's sort of interesting because it falls in this weird place where like usually when we do Les Essentials, we want it to be I mean, it's not like they're all happy endings because they're not, but it's like we usually look for a little bit more of like the focus. I don't know. It's like it falls in a weird place for us in terms of what kind of episode we were going to do on it. And so we were just like, do we want to just do an episode?
Let's just talk about it
on the show in general? And like, yeah, of course. Here's another question I have, Lauren, that I really want to know. If you say they are planning a season 2, what would you want season 2 to be? Do you want it to be the backstory? Like, is there a specific, do you want Agatha to not be fully gone? Like, do you want the Joe and Agatha ghost moving forward? Do you want the flashbacks?
No, it's obviously Rio and Agatha honeymoon phase. Come on. But
I will say,
I'll let you answer, Lauren.
And this is a response I had publicly when the finale aired. I did not like the finale. And I say this after gooning over the series for 48 minutes now. I did not like the finale because, and these are my complaints.
You mean specifically the last episode, or like the
specifically the last episode?
Okay.
I did not like that the very first ever lesbian Marvel kiss ended in a woman dying. That felt that felt a little on the nose. I thought we were past that, and I thought, but you know, that is something that people were predicting from day one. They were like, they're gonna kiss, and Agatha's gonna die, and whatever. Even I was like that, but I was like, no, they wouldn't. They're gonna subvert it, right? No.
Well,
No,
I feel
they
like their
didn't.
way to subvert it is to say like she's the ghost, so like
Yeah.
she's not.
But
yes,
my other big complaint to my close inner circle of Agatha heads in real life after the finale was I was really sad that eventually the series became less about Agatha's story and more as a vehicle to move Billy's character forward. And I understand they need to set up his young Marvels phase, whatever. They wanted to get Agatha as a ghost because that's what she is in the comics. But to me, they did not finish Agatha's story. And I almost feel like the whole show, they were like, okay, eventually you're going to see the backstory about Agatha and Rio, because of course, eventually you're going to see the backstory. Wait, you're going to see the backstory. And then barely anything. So in my dream world, we are getting, and I know they're not going to do it. In my dream world, we would get like a prologue season, but I wouldn't, this is the hard thing. I don't want them to recast Catherine Hahn, and I don't want them to recast, obviously they wouldn't have to recast Aubrey because she's deaf, she doesn't age, but obviously Catherine Hahn can't play like 20-year-old Agatha, but I don't want anyone else. So that's hard. You know, that's
but
hard.
also couldn't she? Because I feel like it's like, I don't know. I feel like they did age her down anyways for the whole like Nikki. Like that was supposedly a very long time ago.
I mean, she looked old. I mean,
yeah.
And I say old with like a heart around it and like lace around the heart. Like she and they like de-aged her for the Salem like burning. But I think that was like, I mean, maybe like 30 seconds. So I don't know if they could, but you know, actually, I'm pointing a finger at myself and I'm saying the word stupid because this is Marvel. They made Paul Bettany Vision for 40 years. They could make Agatha look as young or old as they want. So final answer, Lee, my dream would be season 2 is the prologue. Or they make Agatha not a ghost because, unpopular opinion, I miss how she looks as a human. I don't like her silver hair.
You know the other
is that
thing,
unpopular?
You know what I will say?
You're like, I prefer Catherine Hahn to not be a ghost.
No, but
here's what I will say though about that finale. What I think the problem was with the finale is that episode 8 was so like there was so much of the climactic stuff that happened the episode before it. And then, like, the final episode, it just kind of felt a little bit like being like, and now we'll just, like, sweep all the stuff that's left over kind of into a nice, tidy little pile for everyone and, like, tie up all our little loose ends. And I was like, but I feel like there was such a peak. Like, the emotional roller coaster that we all went on through episode 8.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, and that kiss, and then the falling, and the you know, pile of the body turning into the flowers and the mushrooms and the stuff, and the like it was just so electric and charged, and then you get, you know, I mean, it's nice to get the story, but it almost felt like those 2 episodes should have gone in opposite order of each other. It was just like a weird place to go where you were like, but didn't we just watch the finale? Like, surely that was it, right? Like the whole story of her turning into a ghost and kind of still being around, all of that felt like it should be, like, here's Joe's spin-off and here's how we introduce, like, oh, actually, I'm a ghost now, right? Like, it didn't feel like it needed to be in this show a little bit.
Wait, did I misspeak? Is the Joe episode the finale? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
the finale, you get 2 things. You get the backstory of Nikki, and then you get Joe in the room, right? Isn't that in the finale?
Oh yeah, then I was talking my grief lies in the final battle. So I guess
8.
not the finale. So much so that I, in retrospect, was like, that's the finale because
but it feels like it should be.
So you're right.
It feels like it should
You're right. That I literally thought that was the finale. I guess no. Yeah.
I think all of that stuff is episode 8, and I think the finale is.
I think
just
you're right. I think you're right. For some reason, I thought they
the
tied that in.
backstory.
Ugh.
And I liked the whole reveal of Joe having created the whole witch's road. Like, honestly, that was such a good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the way they did all of that. It just felt like they had crafted this really nice. Like, the pacing through everything else felt great, and the pacing of the last 2 episodes to me was really weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. All this to say, I love that show. I love that.
No, yeah, it's a
damn
great
show.
show.
So good.
But yeah, I wish
But
that
yeah.
the ending had been different,
Gayer.
less death.
And
Less
we
death,
need
yeah.
to know how they made Nikki from scratch, and we need to know, like, I'm sorry,
I
that
need
scene.
to know how they made Nikki.
Wait,
I
from
need
wait, no,
scratch in
here's the
4K.
thing.
behind the scenes.
Yes, yeah. No, well, here's the thing too, because I feel like while I was watching it, there was like this whole thing that was like saying like they hired an intimacy coordinator and blah blah blah, right? Like there was a whole thing that where you were thinking like we're gonna get an actual sex scene,
Mm-hmm.
It was
and
a
then we
kiss.
never got it.
It was for kissing.
And it's like okay, great, and also, come on, people.
People
There's so much
are
opportunity
afraid to
here.
see gay milf sex on their screens.
It'll turn everyone. It's too much. It's too much
Too
power.
powerful.
That's the gay
It's too
agenda.
much power.
Actually,
It's too much magic. And those
Yeah.
2 particular people, like I think
know. I always think
would-
about who was it? There was someone on the crew. I think it was like, I don't know if it was their DP or it wasn't Jack. It was like someone on the crew said that when they were doing the kissing takes in that the big kiss, that it was like people were like having to like take off their headphones. They were like, this is too like sloppy. Like we can't. It's like loud. It's like juicy kissing. I was like, okay, where's
Damn.
the BTS? Like.
yeah,
like-
yeah. Drop the real. The
Oh, yeah,
film.
drop the,
Come on.
yeah, dropping the
Drop it
audio.
on Spotify,
it.
Just the audio, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Ellie, we still have hashtag release the kiss shirts
Yeah,
somewhere. We
we
can just
should just
repurpose
reuse
those.
them. Yeah, we had them for Pitch Perfect because you know they like had a
Yeah,
film.
what?
They had a film scene
Someone
for
has
Pitch
that.
Perfect, and they never released it.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Here's-
love that franchise.
Here's what I think. We had released the kiss shirts in the Pitch Perfect like font. I think we need
Agatha
release the
All
kiss in
Along,
the
yeah.
Agatha All Along font shirts. That's what we want.
Brilliantly, brilliant. Is there anything else we want to talk about Agatha All Along before we head into our Q&A?
Last thoughts you need to share with our listeners, Lauren. Now's your chance.
Last thoughts on Agatha All Along. There will never be a final thought. I will be passing away still mid-thought about this show. I'm just so happy that this show, like we said earlier, that was like so dogged on by such a large majority of the Marvel online space, literally killed in like ratings, in viewership, in everything. I think this show is the first of many to come where people realize like gay women, lesbians specifically, deserve to be main characters of like fun shows where it's not just, and I'm sure you guys talk about this all the time, one of my biggest fucking pet peeves is that all lesbian media is them realizing they're a lesbian. I'm like, can we just have like shows where like, yes, they are lesbian, they kiss women, they have lives, but also lesbianism is not pushed to the side. I don't want to push to the side, but I also don't want it just introduced. I want them square in the middle where they love to be gay, but they also have lives. I'm just so happy that this show came out. And they also did it with women over the age of 23. I feel like that is such a, and I say that as like a younger woman, not a young woman, I'm 25, but I'm like, I just feel like gay women deserve everything and gay older women deserve everything. And older women, I sound like I'm ageist. I swear to God, Catherine Hahn's in her 50s, 50-year-old lesbians deserve shows.
But here's the thing. You're saying it because Hollywood is ageist.
Yes, it is. It is.
So,
And frankly,
like, you're saying it in a way that's like, because I agree, like, as I have become more aged, but like, but you look at society and you're like, okay, is like, there's a point at which life for women is supposed to fucking end. Yeah. And that's not you saying that. Yeah. That's society who has said that.
Yeah.
And this show is like Patti LuPone, Catherine Hahn, hot as hell.
Yeah.
And yes, older than the standard that Hollywood
usually
Yeah,
is
like I
putting
feel like
in front
it's
of our face.
lucky
So,
if we get
yes.
a lesbian show. It's unheard of that we get a lesbian show that isn't about 17-year-olds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That is
correct.
my final thought
Yes.
is
Well,
thank you, give us more MILF lesbians.
well, I want to say one really funny thing about this is that's cracking me up is because this is not just like someone who came out like 5 years ago. Like these are like hundreds-year-old witches.
I know.
So like as much like it's actually like they're so much older even.
Yeah.
They've been gay for so long.
Yeah.
They know flagging techniques we've never even heard of.
They've been gay for longer than any of us ever will be.
Wait, sorry,
And that's amazing.
Sorry. I can't believe that we're just gonna. We don't even need to say anything about it. I just need to say, you want straight answers, ask a straight lady. Like,
yeah.
Marvel, what?
Such
Oh, Lord.
The script really was like, we are gonna make sure you know they're gay.
Yeah.
And we are grateful for that.
Yeah, the like lesbian young twink solidarity also. It's just like I love that they were little besties. Little besties.
Yeah.
Honestly, so good. All right, we're ready. We're gonna head into our Q and Gay. Here we go.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. Who is your favorite in the coven? A. Lilia, B. Jen, C. Alice, or D. Agatha?
Agatha.
I mean, we knew the answer.
Yeah. That's
very obvious for you.
That's my sweetie.
Question 2, tough question. Who was your witchy gay root? Out of A, Winnifred Sanderson, B, Regina Mills, C, Willow Rosenberg, or D, Agatha Harkness?
Did this question exist before we recorded?
No, we write some as we go.
I was gonna say the way that you
It's
clocked my
two-pointed.
tea. The way that you clocked my tea.
Here's the thing. Sometimes we write them as we go, or we'll replace them as we go sometimes, because we just have a burning need to A, get it on the record, and B, know what our listeners' answers are going to be to some of these.
Absolutely. I would say my gay root, the root of it all, it's got to be Winnifred Sanderson. But Regina Mills, okay, Winnifred Sanderson made me, I like girls. Regina Mills made me say, I'm a fucking lesbian. Like she made me realize. I literally remember I was in the.
She made me realize I like women.
I was in the 8th grade, and this is the thought process that made me realize like I was like 1,000% a lesbian. I was in the 8th grade, and I thought I could never love a man the way I love this fictional character.
Fair.
And
Fair
that's just not
take.
something that a girl who likes boys would say.
Correct.
There's so many gay layers to that.
Yeah.
Like everyone listening, you understand the layers because you are probably the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What type of witch would you be? A, green, B, protection, C, divination, or D, potions?
Ooh. I'm torn between divination and potions. I think potions. When I was a kid, much like every other kid that's ever existed on the planet, I loved a creation. I love to create a little thing. I love to create a little thing, and I think I still love to create a little thing.
You love to pour some sparkles in a little jar and shake it all up.
Yep.
And stir it with a stick. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have
Some
a cauldron
dish
in
soap.
your house.
Yeah, we're bubbling, we're brewing. I think me and Jennifer Kale are in it together.
Listen, I have children. Let me tell you how many sealed jars of sparkly water exist in my house.
Congratulations
Do you
on your
have little
coven.
witches? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wild amount. Honestly, listen, we could have a coven. We have like the 4 of us and Whiskey, our dog. So I think we're good.
Wow, you have a familiar as well.
Yeah,
That's
we're
so
doing
crazy.
great. Okay, question 4, Lauren. What are your hopes for a sequel out of A, the Agatha Rio backstory, B, Ghost Agatha Adventures, or C, dark horse option that just occurred to me, more of Lilia's story?
I want the damn backstory. Show me their first kiss.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're
God,
not a coward,
can you imagine?
If you're not a coward, show me them having sex.
Yeah.
Can I also tell you, I love that we were like, I don't want to see people like realizing they're gay. I don't want to see this young, like queer coming of age bullshit. And then we're like, show me.
It's Agatha.
Yeah.
No,
Show me their
No, but
first
here's
kiss,
the thing.
baby Agatha.
No, but here's the thing. I think you're right, Laura. I know what you're about to say. They're not coming out.
No.
It's like baby's like sixth girlfriend.
Yeah. No. Agatha is run through the town. She's already.
How many exes do we think Agatha has killed in her
million.
lifetime?
1 million.
How many? Here's what I want to know. How many of the covens that Agatha like sucked dry? How many of them did she fuck first?
1 million. I think
That's
every
why they're
single
so
time
pissed at her.
She lured them to the woods. She said, "I'm going to take you on the road, and we're all going to have a fruity little time." And they said, "Okay, Mama." And then she killed them.
Yep, that sounds right.
But Allie, you knew exactly what I was saying. They are coming together not as first-time girl kissers, but as first-time lovers to each other.
Okay, amazing.
And yeah, death has been around for a long ass time, so like, that's not a coming out story for sure.
No.
No. All right, final question. What was the most out-of-pocket thing Agatha did? A, traumatize her neighbors. B, kill a ton of covens. C, straight up steal Nikki's song. Or D, break up with Rio.
Listen, copyright theft is no joke, okay?
And you know what? And I love that kill Sparky is not even on there. Like we moved past like Sparky been dead. Steal Nikki's song, no royalties. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That is so funny.
Doesn't even credit him. Like doesn't even give him the credit anywhere.
No.
It's rude.
No.
You know what?
The songwriter in me is offended.
I'm dead. You know what I realized too late as the episode is like we didn't super talk about the song in general.
No.
Which is road.
Yeah.
Like how do we feel about the cover version? Like which one do we like better?
Oh. Also, wait. Something I need to tell people / you guys. Have you heard there is a song that they had commissioned for the show that they did not use that is so good. And they literally, it's called There's a Road. And the artist is named Kinney, Kinney. It's so good. And they didn't even use it, but it is like a beautiful, ballady, kind of folky chef's kiss. But also, didn't Japanese Breakfast came out with a version of the Witch's Road, and that was really good. Is it Japanese Breakfast? No, I feel like I'm lying.
I'm not gonna lie. I also love
it is Japanese Breakfast.
There's that clip of the cast at like whatever Disney convention they were at when they all come out and they're all singing it, and I'm like, granted, like you have Patti LuPone in the mix, but otherwise, like the rest of them are not like famous singers or anything, you know? I'm like, they sound fucking great.
Absolutely.
They sound so good. And it's a dope song. And also, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the songwriter in me did actually really love the whole evolution of seeing the song starting from Nikki's version and then the kind of developing of it into this thing and then the co-opting that she does to turn it, you know, the sort of change in the melody and the chord structure around it and everything that kind of, it gets so dark and like gritty about it, and then having also the version where it's like, and now here's the kind of like 70s like free love pop version. I was like, I'm actually super into this. This is great.
It really hit. Well, and also I'm like, I just have all these new thoughts about the song too, because it also is like that entire story is about like generational trauma, and that also hits. Like, and we didn't even get into that.
Yeah,
and the queerness
whole,
of
like,
that
Alice
shit.
Storyline. If I can't reach you, let my song teach you. All you need to keep our love alive. If I can't hold you, remember what I told you. It's the only way we survive. And I've always said that.
They actually stole your song.
Yeah,
Nikki stole your song.
Nikki got that from me.
We all knew it. Well, and then like Jen's story about like feeling powerless and having your power like taken away from you.
Ellie's just gonna roll this into episode 2 of this, where it's part 2.
I'm sorry.
Part 2.
I just like it's just hard to talk about this whole series because it is a short series and it's so packed with like emotional depth and like stories just about women that hit
Ellie
And
has
yes-
turned into a straight up that gif from Little Women, just women.gif is what's happening right now.
Women. But yes, sorry. I just had to get those. I realized that I need to get those thoughts out.
Okay, well,
I have-
we'll do a whole follow-up episode just on the song Witches Road. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Coming soon. Lauren's coming back
Yeah,
on.
we'll do our own cover of Witches Road.
Oh my god.
Listen, if you
Yes.
guys ever need to do a WandaVision should have been a gay episode, I'm giving you my cell on speed dial.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just gonna
Yes.
say yes, that is happening.
Yeah.
Wait, so next week, same time, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same time, same place. Amazing. Also, for our listeners, remember you can give us your own answers to this episode's Q&A questions on our Twitter at Lez Hang Out Pod. Lauren, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Of course. Thank you so incredibly much for having me. This is like, if I could have like written a letter to the universe telling them exactly what kind of podcast I want to go on, it would be like lesbian podcast. We talk about Catherine Hahn for an hour.
Great. I'm glad we could do that for you.
We're so glad that we could be that place for you.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You also have some projects coming up. Anything you want to tell our listeners about?
Oh my God. Guys, I'm so excited. My girlfriend, Alyssa, and I have fundraised for, and are about to start filming our web series, Pain in the Neck. It is a sapphic, enemies to lovers, vampire, human romance. And
love it.
It's a comedy. It's so funny. We are, I cannot wait to share this with people. It is the thing I'm most proud of in my entire life. I'm like putting all of my favorite tropes in media into it of like, yes, they're enemies to lovers. Yes, it's vampire human. Yes, they're both women. Neither of them are coming out for the first time. They are gay. And it is just, I think.
Wait, and you are also acting in it, correct?
Yes, I am playing the vampire Helena. My girlfriend is playing Ruby the human. And a vital aspect of this show is that it takes place during the zombie apocalypse. So they are stuck inside together.
Yes.
This vampire and this human, they are codependent, parasitic relationship in which they need each other to survive, literally. So it is very much a complex little story that we have crafted. And it's 8 episodes. It will be coming out this fall. So if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, if it still exists when this airs, that'll be coming out this fall on YouTube, and then we'll do short form chunks on the short form Instagram and TikTok. But yeah, that is
incredible.
Gonna be awesome.
If people want to follow the project or follow you, where can they find everything on the social medias?
You can find me on Instagram at hi.PoppyLaur. That's PoppyLaur, or on TikTok at just PoppyLaur. Or if you want to follow specifically Pain in the Neck, the show I was just talking about, you can look on Instagram at Pain in the Neck Show.
Amazing. I'm so excited for you and all of your new projects. It's going to slap. Can't wait.
Yeah, dare we set an episode for talking about Pain in the Neck once it's out?
Oh my God, yes. Please.
Yeah.
We have so many things on the calendar. We're going to get sick of each other.
Like Lez Hang Out, featuring for perpetuity.
Yeah.
PoppyLaur.
Guest
Forever.
that you asked us to stop booking, PoppyLaur.
Yeah.
No one will. No
Never.
one ever would.
It's impossible. Oh my gosh, so fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much, guys. I love being a lesbian.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you, and we love continuing to build this community, and we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. I need to start with one that just I thought was great, which is a shout out to Alana White, who responded to us on Blue Sky, saying that me talking about the AU Traders The Wilds fanfic that I read, she was like, oh, what a fun way to find out that you've read my fiction. So I was like,
God.
Great.
Yes.
This is the small world like that I need. These are the moments that I live for. So shout out to Alana for writing a Traders Wilds fanfic that I definitely enjoyed. There you go.
Amazing. And you deserve all the credit, Alana, for bringing Lee joy. Also would like to shout out Armani Gucci, one of our Lesbian Jesus patrons. Shout out to Armani, who commented on our Instagram, when Sabrina hears the rumor you came up with, she's going to date Usher just to keep the drama going. And you know what? I hope I push Sabrina into Usher's arms because of her horrible cunnilingus.
We're doubling down. Doubling down,
tripling
everyone.
down.
Also, we saw people are loving our episode on how all the Chicks songs should have been gay because we are correct and we should say it. And yeah, people have been pointing out other songs that we didn't have a chance to get to, which is so true. And shout out to Queen 1975 Love on Instagram, who also loved our Chicks episode. We're just glad it's bringing you all joy like it brought us joy.
Mhm.
There you go.
As always, I want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrea Doucette, thank you so much for supporting us. We could not make the show without you.
Remember, you can also find us on all social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
We also have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Kristen Murison and other podcasting shenanigans by Lee Holmes Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, there's a couple ways you can do that. The first is to leave us a rating and a review on whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. It helps new people find the show.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, it's the best way to support us and make sure we can pay our tiny little crew at bit.ly/LezPatreon. We also offer all kinds of bonus episodes for you, so you get all kinds of fun Lez Hang Out content.
If you want to buy some Lez Hang Out merch and deck yourself out in all the Lez goodness, you can find all of our new designs and new items up on our store at our website or at bit.ly/LezMerch. We will have new things going up as we take advantage of all these new things that we can make now because we're having fun.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings. You can find everywhere at $$beanprod.
And you can check out our website at $beanproductions.com.
You can listen to all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app, and our second show, Journey to the Heart, also on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/$beanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can follow me on all the social medias at Ellie Brigida.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And
let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.